Good evening from the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your forecaster, Jeff Monk, looking at the planning outlook on the mountains for the coming week. Very briefly, this is what's going to happen. Winds are going to turn easterly. It will be intermittently windy on the summits, with the exception of northern Scotland. It will be largely dry, and there will be temperature changes through the week. They'll tend to go up towards Tuesday, Wednesday on the summits, but down again Thursday and Friday. I've just got 4 charts to show you, and they are all isobar charts. First of all, Monday, which is somewhat complicated. Broadly speaking, we're going to have an area of low pressure stretching from Northern Ireland across towards East Anglia and southeast England. Where individual low centres are going to be along this trough, if you like, is uncertain, and that means that close to that area from southern Scotland down into North Wales, wind direction and speeds are very uncertain. There may well be a prolonged lull, but on the other hand, if there is a little bit more of a definite centre, as is shown on this chart near the Strait of Dover, if there's, say, a small little low over the Irish Sea, then there are likely to be stronger winds, shall we say, over North Wales or perhaps the Lake District. So a little bit of uncertainty, and that area of almost calm which is implied may or may not be so. On Monday, there will be areas of rain. Again, the rain substantially associated with this low, but high up in the atmosphere, with the wind more southerly, a little of that rain is likely to migrate towards central Scotland. Whether it's a millimetre or perhaps 3 or 4 over 12 hours, not quite sure, but whatever, it will not be very much. There will, though, have been and will be on Monday rather more rainfall from northern England southwards. By the time we get into Wales, the main rain will have pushed away, but it will be replaced by showery weather. The showers are heaviest inland in the afternoon, when there may be the odd rumble of thunder, the odd flash of lightning. The isobars are closest together at 1 millibar intervals across eastern Scotland, and here strong easterly winds will come in off the North Sea, bringing extensive very low cloud, particularly to the southeast Highlands. Very little of that low cloud will reach the west and northwest Highlands, particularly, shall we say, north of about Glencoe. If we move on, we then have easterly winds. On Tuesday, easterly winds will have migrated across most areas, perhaps still a little bit more southeast across the Western Isles and Ireland, but the easterly winds will be setting in, bringing fine weather almost everywhere. Having said that, the dregs of the previous rain may just give patches of rain and drizzle, the odd heavier burst over England and Wales, but it should have cleared Scotland, and it may well be that there's very little left indeed, even over England and Wales. Blustery on summits, particularly in easterly winds near major ridges and in places to the west of major ridges. But most places cloud-free on the hills, particularly western mountains. On Tuesday and Wednesday, very similar conditions. On Wednesday, high pressure to the north, low to the south, so easterly winds coming through. Persistently, temperatures quite reasonable in the valleys, 13, 14, even 16, 17 degrees Celsius in some areas of western Scotland. A little bit colder toward the east coast, where the North Sea is at this time of year only about 8 Celsius, or where the air comes off the sea, even on low ground, only about 10. On the higher summits in Scotland, generally just above freezing point and quite well above freezing point in the afternoon over western mountains. And as I say, most summits, particularly away from easternmost areas, will be free of cloud. If we look at Thursday and Friday's charts, they don't look much different. High pressure will persist to the north of Scotland, low down over the Bay of Biscay. The main difference on the surface is that there's more wind. Upland winds will be close to or perhaps exceeding gale force across the mountains of Wales, northern England and perhaps southern Scotland. And the way easterly winds often are, with a maximum in the wind speed just above the mountain summits, that tends to produce quite a lot of what we call turbulence, and to the west of major ridges it can be that there are some very gusty winds in places reaching lower slopes. So quite a windy period on Thursday and Friday, less so across northern Scotland. But what this chart doesn't show is that there will have been quite a drop in temperature. A tongue of cold air originating to the north of Norway will have come all the way round the area of high pressure and brought a drop in temperatures. Freezing levels, even as far south as northern England, may well be down at 800 metres on Thursday and Friday, perhaps 900 or 1,000 metres in northern Scotland. After that, at least intermittently, the freezing level will go up again. And the further outlook beyond Thursday and Friday is that with the low pressure down towards the Bay of Biscay, there is a risk, not a certainty at this stage, that areas of rain will come in from the south, affecting particularly Wales, but it does look as if most northern mountains will continue dry. The only other comment I should have made about Thursday and Friday, although substantially dry, is that there may, just as the days go on, be a few showers, well scattered showers in the afternoons as the temperature rises, but with the air still being cold, the air may well bubble up and produce these showers, and they could well go in over the weekend. But really, for the bulk of the country, very low rainfall next week, with the area that doesn't fit that is likely to be really northern England, perhaps southern Scotland and Wales on Monday, when it is going to be more widespread rain. So do enjoy the mountains over the coming week or so.